and manufacturing and construction of solar power plants, mostly in the large-scale power plant side. I'd like to probably talk about India. Taking over from Mr. Rajneesh, what he was mentioning, that 20 gigawatt at one time was kind of an unachievable thing. That's what global markets thought for India. But today, like Mr. Rajneesh pointed out, 100 is an achievable target. I think it's not even 100, it's stretched to 175 by 2022 probably. And frankly, today if you talk to any developer, at one point of time, having a 10 megawatt for a developer is considerable. But today, speak to any developer, they're talking only in hundreds, 100 megawatts, 1000 megawatts. Probably a few of our clients already have 1500 megawatts to execute in the next 18 months. And as the government released, probably 15 gigawatts of licenses have already been signed in the country to be executed in the next 15 months or so. And I think recently another 5 gigawatts was out. So, all these things, probably funds for most of them are already secured or on the way. But yes, that is, India is probably getting into the top 3 also. I guess probably China and US probably are ahead of us. Other than that, I think if we really achieve this 20 gigawatt per year in the next 5 years, India will be one of the top. I don't think any other country is, set to do that. And one other point that I want to talk about is Mr. Singh said that fundraising is really difficult. Yeah, that is true. Solar is still not in the top notch of the investment areas. But the point is that slowly everyone is getting into that. The pension funds from several countries are trying to get into the investment side in solar energy in India. So that just shows how bright the sun is shining for the renewable energy in the country. And speaking about us, Novosol Energy, we have executed, or rather designed and constructed over 1500 megawatts in the country till now. What we do is basically mostly about engineering and manufacturing and construction. And yes, Premier is one of our clients too. And a lot of other people probably you might know, people like Azure and Renew, etc. And one other thing that I wanted to mention was regarding the opportunities that we have in the country. If you really see, the lowest bid the lowest energy that we're producing is about 4.43 rupees per each unit. This is probably one of the lowest in the world, not even one, it is the lowest in the world. And probably the next one is at least 30% higher than this globally. So India is, top for producing renewable energy. That is the good one. And probably we're looking at even lower than sub 4 also in the coming 2-3 years. Probably for a developer it might not sound very good. But yes, we are set to achieve that, probably with cheaper funds and better module prices, better efficiencies in modules, we can definitely achieve that. And now, solar is not only shining for itself, but it's going to compete with coal also pretty soon. Probably in a couple of years, I think people will think about setting solar plants than coal power plants. So that will be really interesting for everyone. And in terms of government, what we have been doing, this thing about storing energy and the latest battery technology, lithium ion, that's out, and everyone is talking about that. But recently I've found out from MNRE that we are planning to store energy also at probably 1/10 the cost of lithium ion. What our government is trying to do is, take energy in the morning and pump up a huge chunk of water, to a level that you can store it there, and in the night they'll throw it down. And this is a really good technology, a viable one, and I think India is going to execute 100 of these pretty soon. If this really happens, I think solar can take over the night also, even when the sun is not there. And that too at 1/10 the cost of lithium ion that the world is trying to do. So yeah, speaking of any technology, India is really pushing it forward, and we might set new trends also in the country. And regarding the opportunities for the country, manufacturing is one good thing. Today, China is definitely the cheapest module manufacturer, but I would say not on the DC side. Frankly, a lot of manufacturers, developers worldwide, even from US or Europe, are actually seeking manufacturing from India rather than China because it is cheaper in India. Module, China is giving a tough competition. The only reason is scale. The moment people believe in India and invest more funds here, probably we can build better modules at cheaper prices than China also. So that should happen pretty soon. But I'm pretty confident that we are cheaper than China in many other things, except for modules right now. And that, I mean, with the Make in India and, I mean, GST is a negative for, like Mr. Pal said, for the developer side. But I think maybe if the government, I mean, waves it off, at least for solar, that'd be pretty good. But talking about GST, yeah, it removes a couple of hurdles for manufacturers like us, because what happens is with this, all this excise exemption and all, it's pretty difficult to execute. I mean, there are several loopholes in that. So with the GST having a single thing all over the country, it will definitely smoothen the execution side of it. That is a good one. And yeah, probably one other thing I would like to mention is, yes, getting lands today is getting pretty difficult for execution of plans. And government is already identifying various lands and calling them solar parks, so that, you know, just like a single window clearance, you need to build a power plant, you just apply for a solar park land and you're able to get that. So even government is pushing it better in that way, giving lands also. So yeah, all in all, we have a very bright future from renewable energy, and we're looking at, I don't know, $150 billion industry in the next 5 years, so which is pretty huge.